Check, check, check. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy CPI day. No trades last night. Nothing really set up too great. Good afternoon, Peter from Kenya. Welcome back. All right, let's just hop on into it. So we have CPI today, the inflation print for the US dollar at 8:30 in the morning. It's in an hour and 20 minutes. So keep in mind that you have to remember every day doesn't have to be a trading day, right? It's very important to remember you don't have to force trades or you don't have to take trades every day. Because sometimes there's just no edge and sometimes there's too much volatility in the market where it's just not worth taking a trade. So with that being said, I'm not trading any US dollar pair or anything involving the US dollar. That would be gold and equities as well until after 8:30, which is the CPI. So maybe around 9 o'clock. I'll consider taking some dollar pairs, some gold trades, some indice trades around 9 o'clock and later. However, from 9 o'clock until now, I will only be looking at pairs involving anything other than the dollar. So pound yen, pound AUD, AUD JPY, euro GBP, euro AUD, etc. How can I be part of the team taking the TFT challenge? Peter, if you want to join our group and trade with us, you got to go to vanttradingforex.com, and we'd love to have you. All right, so taking a look at the dollar here. We are now in a bearish structure here. Yesterday's price action gave us this really strong push below this area of support. Our previous swing low was sitting right at 104. We broke below and closed pretty strong. Wick retest of that break, and now we're starting to get sold off here. Taz, good morning from Dubai. Good morning, brother. So taking a look at the 4-hour chart. Taz, you should be in the Zoom, man. What are you doing? 4-hour chart for the Dixie is closing bearish with this rejection wick. However, I'm not trading dollar pairs. I'd expect a continuation of the downside. With CPI today, I believe it's only going to make any type of difference and move if CPI comes in hot, because that's going to be a whole nother issue with the Fed. As far as right now, they're considering pausing rate hikes in March, even potentially doing rate cuts in the future of this year. And so that's going against fighting inflation. And so if CPI comes in hot, their tool to fight inflation is raising rates, which they're potentially stopping. So it's going to be really interesting and really sticky if CPI comes in pretty hot and worse than expected, or higher than expected. So if it comes in cooler, I think then all you got to do is focus mainly on the bank run, the banking situation, see how that resolves, because that's what the market is eyeing up right now. So moving on from the dollar, because I'd expect us to just consolidate and chop ahead of the CPI print, or if anything, pushed it to the downside. Again, with equities, sitting on top of this bullish support on US30, closed with more or less a doji yesterday, and we're pushing higher. So I'd expect the equities to find some support here and potentially push higher. Gold has just been on yesterday was a brick of a candle. I mean, we had no bottom wick, no upper wick, and we're now at this previous retest point, previous resistance. So we're now in a bullish structure, broke through these highs, had this double bottom. And the 4-hour chart, two bearish closes. Last 4-hour candle had this doji rejection wick of this 1914. So you could potentially have more downside to gold to retest this breakout. 2-hour chart, nice resistance here. So, but again, I'm not trading gold. Gold looks like it might just consolidate at these highs until CPI, which happens often. So I'm going to do another analysis after CPI on everything involving the dollar because I'm not really worried about what it's doing right now. So hopping on into the pairs that are not related to the US dollar. Pound yen looking very, very choppy. This range in here is a no trade range. It's very choppy. This range in here is a no trade range. It's very choppy. I don't like to trade in this chop. You don't really have an edge, and it could just reverse literally anywhere in this range here. So remember, A+ setups only. Don't force trades, so there's no reason that we should be taking trades on pound yen today in this disgusting range. Pound AUD. Daily chart sitting right on top of this breakout. That's also a weekly chart. The weekly chart's also sitting right on top of this breakout as well. Sitting right on top of this 200 moving average. However, 4-hour is showing this resistance, this double top, with a potential 4-hour push to the downside. I'm not going to short into this area of support. It just doesn't make any sense because it's a heavy level of support on the weekly and daily. And so if I were to take any trades on pound AUD today, it would be a break through 1.8200, retest for sells, or it would be a break through these highs for a retest for a continuation long based off of the higher time frame. We're now sitting on top of this level here, looking left. Very, very clean price action to the upside. However, last time we broke through this level, we consolidated for a little bit before we eventually broke higher. Kind of looks like what it's setting up to do now. So most likely no trade on pound AUD because it's going to need at least another like hour and a half to set up, and that's heading into post CPI. So pound AUD no trade today, at least for now. Moving on to AUD JPY. Sitting at a area of exhaustion to the downside. Potential bullish engulfing, and you got to note every time we've thrown this exhaustion wick here, the next day has been a very strong bullish candle, decent bullish candle, and so now do we get some type of strong push out of here? So let's take a look at the lower time frames. 4-hour chart. Problem is we're still printing these lower highs. 2-hour chart, still printing these lower highs, but did come down to retest this potential breakout, where now we're creating these higher lows, finding support for a potential continuation to the upside. So if we get this hourly bullish engulfing, you could consider something like this, stop a little low. And then you have around a 4-to-1 range, or this is a 2.5-to-1. So depending on what time it is and where price heads. You have a 2.5 to 1 or 4 to 1. So this could be a decent trade idea. I'm going to wait for an hourly bullish engulfing, 30-minute bullish engulfing. And then I'll probably look for something similar to this. This is around a 3 to 1. Pretty clean. If we can break through here, then we have next resistance right up in this range here. And that's looking around like a 5 to 1. So decent range. Just going to wait until 7:30. So hopefully it doesn't go without us. If it does, it is what it is. Euro GBP. Euro GBP has a lot of exhaustion to the downside here. However, we're seeing a nice 4-hour head and shoulders that we just broke through. We're now retesting this neckline for a potential sell-off. Typically, with these type of plays, you get a sell-off after you get that first retest of the neckline. However, we do have a lot of support and rejection on the downside, but range is clean. I don't like how he created these lower lows, broke through this neckline here. So structure isn't looking too clean on the 2-hour for that idea. 1 hour either. We're back above this previous pivot point here. So if I were to take any trade on Euro GBP, you'd have to break back through this area, find resistance, and then sell off. It would be something like this. So potential 3 to 1 play. You just have to see this type of move play out here. So we shall see. We shall see. Euro AUD moving on. Daily chart. Finding some resistance at this previous double top, now triple top. 4-hour chart showing a lot of exhaustion to the downside. Just in this choppy range. Double bottom. Yeah. Not a range I'm interested in trading. No trade on Euro AUD today. If we got below these lows for retest and sell off, potentially, but we still have this pretty strong area of support just south of that price action. So probably a no trader today. So there's not really any great setups today, mainly because of CPI. I mean, there were actually a couple decent dollar setups like USD CAD I was looking at for potential sells, but we're only an hour and 10 minutes from CPI, and the likelihood that my trade hits my take profit and gives me a nice run an hour and 10 minutes ahead of CPI is low because it typically just consolidates and chops around ahead of that print. Maybe not, but I'm not willing to risk my account or risk being stuck in chop because more often than not, you get that consolidation and that choppy price action. So come around 8:45, 8:50 is when I'll start analyzing the dollar pairs, gold indices for potential setups after 9 o'clock. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens, but main idea today would be a potential long on AUD JPY. If we get this 30-minute hourly bullish engulfing, we'll look for something like this. Yeah, but that's about it. Not too much going on today. Just kind of waiting for CPI. So be safe out there, everybody. Don't risk your account. Remember, you don't have to trade. Sometimes it's better just not to trade and to watch and learn. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your trading day. And remember, if you're looking to trade with us, you know where to find me. VantTradingForex.com. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.